back with another art video. I actually talked Coralie into helping me today. She's been a little resistant to be on camera. Anyway, our project today is the building packet. In your envelope that I mailed you a couple of weeks ago, you should have some inspiration buildings. We're going to do a 2-point perspective project. You're going to need pencils, some sort of marker or black gel ink, a cedar. You also want a straight edge and some paper, just some drawing paper. The thicker quality paper, the better, but if all you have is printer paper, that's totally fine. So go gather your stuff and meet us back. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, we are back. We have gotten fancy and turned the tablet where you can see our papers, so you can draw along with us. You're going to start by making 2 vanishing points on either end of your paper. I'm just going to start in the middle. You can put those pretty much anywhere. If you're doing tall buildings, you may want to move them down to like the lower third of your paper, but everything that we draw is going to be from this perspective. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my horizon vanishing point line, not horizon, but vanishing line in here. From there to there. Those are my guidelines. Just like that. So these will eventually be erased.
Mine are a little wonky. One side's better.
It's okay. All right, then I'm going to give myself kind of a starting point for the horizon line. Be a base. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my first vertical line for the first building. And I'm going to say this guy is going to go right here. Vertical line right there. And we'll say that's the corner of the building. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line that up with my vanishing point over here. And I'm going to draw one top side to the building. It's like a little box. And I'm going to give myself the next exterior wall going straight down. So we've got one face of the building. Yeah. Then I'm going to give myself the other top side of the building. Lining up on that same corner again, I'm going to come out a little ways and line it up with that vanishing point, and then give myself another vertical line. And just like that, we've got ourselves the beginnings of a building. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Okay, so from here, we have to think about like where doors and windows, I'm gonna straighten this up a little bit, it's a little crooked, but doors and windows and everything, I don't know what that was, we're gonna be. Now you can, if you want to, you can freehand all this. You don't, sometimes, you know, we all have different personalities and using a straight edge feels cumbersome to some people, but I really like the straight lines. But what I want you to remember is, if you can see, this is one side of the building and this is the other side of the building. I'm gonna say this is my front side of the building. And if I want to draw in a series of doors, I have to take into consideration my vanishing points. So all of my vertical lines will be straight up and down. So The sides of the doors will stay straight, but the top of that door is gonna be towards that vanishing point on the right. So I'm gonna draw in a set of doors right down here. I think my ruler is a little old and crooked. Corley just said she didn't know what she was doing. Just start drawing some horizontal lines for windows. It will make sense as we develop.
What about the door?
That's good.
You just leave it like this?
Just leave it like that for right now.
Which way is this line going? Which vanishing point is it going to?
The right side one. Hmm?
I said so I was right.
And you're just, yeah, lining it up with that edge. Okay, so I've got me some lines going. The more you do this, the more realistic it looks and the more your brain can compute what you're doing.
There we go.
Okay, so you can see I've kind of brought the corner of my building down. So now I don't just have a cut off edge here. You see that, Corley? Now I have something that looks more like a block. And now I can take those doors, bring them down. And this will make a little more sense.
I guess I'll put a bush right here because
You need to bring this down here and give yourself the bottom of the building.
so from here you draw a line.
Hold on, just one second. Let me get this one drawn in and I'll help you. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so you see how I brought this line straight down?
Mhm.
You want to line up, bring this one down, and then you want to connect, using your vanishing point, connect this corner to that one. There, and now you can finish your vertical lines of your door, and you can finish your horizontal lines too. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and carry this over to the next side of the building too. And what I'm using is I'm using this corner here and I'm lining it up with my vanishing point, and I'm gonna continue down the rest of the building. Just like that. Just connecting the dots. See what I'm doing, Corley?
So now we're going down.
Mm-hmm. I bet all of my geometric people, straight line lovers are enjoying this project.
Sean. He always likes to see his rulers.
Love a good clean line. Okay, so now we've got the bones of a good building going on here.
Ew.
What bones?
I don't like that word.
Okay, now you can be as creative as you want to moving forward. You're just going to repeat this process over and over. Say maybe this is a city block and you know your street goes off this way and you have a street going off this way. Then you would build all of your buildings along that street. So I think I'll just do that, give you that example. So I am going to come down here and draw in pretty wide street or sidewalk, either one. I'm going to erase this guideline. And you can even go along here and put some hedgerows or street lights or whatever. And then I'm going to draw in this other one that's running along. There. Okay, so now I have a street corner.
Make sure your lines are not crooked like mine in the beginning. It made this 10 times harder. I'm gonna go back and redo everything.
Okay, so then I might have, after this skyscraper, I might have a row of shops that disappear into the distance. You know, maybe I'm gonna connect onto this building and have a row of like retail shops that you would see, storefronts. That run out to my horizon line, and then I can decorate those up, and I I can come in and add more buildings here and here, all along this row. I can go as high as I want to, really. The sky is the limit. And then you can come in and add the details to your building. Maybe you add some vertical lines that divide up the windows for you, or, you know, whatever. Maybe you want cubes as windows.
So you put a horizon line right here?
I put the tops of some row shops.
Okay.
Oops, I kicked it. Then you can come in and black all of these windows in, or you can do a neat striped pattern, or whatever you want to do. You can even come in and draw, you know, those satellites that you see here. Usually on the tops of the buildings. And start adding your details in. Whatever you do from this point forward, whether it's another building, you want it to follow that vanishing point. So like if I draw one in here, then the top of this building is going to line up with this vanishing point. There. And as I develop, I can start erasing my guidelines. And you can see how it starts coming together. And then this one needs another side to it. It's going to go to this vanishing point. So we've got another building there. And you just keep adding. You just keep repeating the process. This one's going to have a pretty sharp shear here. See, are you doing good?
Maybe.
Yeah. And you know, there's not like when you're standing on a street corner, there's not like a ton of dead space between the buildings. Like they really just kind of stack into the background. Just keep going. So you can see how I'm starting to kind of layer them out. Maybe we can see the roof line on this one. Maybe these row shops aren't just right in the middle here. Maybe they have a top to them. Bless you. Or maybe that's a retaining wall. I don't know. And maybe you want to step down some from this one. Maybe this shop's got a different elevation. Maybe it goes. Hi, babe.
I'm hungry.
Well, I'll have to go check that out. Okay, we wanted to hop back on here and show you our progress. Couple of things I wanted to remind you is when you're drawing with pencil, I say this all the time in class, draw it light until you get it right. That way you don't leave indentions into your paper and it's easier to erase. And then you can end up liking your final product. So I've gone in and I've started to add some other details like trees and windows and things like that. What I want to remind you of is that when you're doing 2 points perspective, you have got to make everything go towards those vanishing points, including, see how I added this little curved line? If you were gonna do like, say a silo in your drawing, well, a silo is round, it's not a box, so you have to convert that to your drawing and your perspective to make it look realistic. Well, even these curved lines have got to tilt towards that vanishing point. So if you're thinking about a vanishing point, everything that comes this way is getting bigger and everything that comes that way is getting smaller, including your trees. They get smaller as they go away, including your road, including your windows. And as you go down the road, they are closer together. So you don't want to space them equally apart because if you're looking at a street corner, all the windows seem to run together when you get towards the end of that street. So we're just going to keep adding details to our buildings. You can, from this point, once you're done adding the details, you can feel free to color it in with colored pencils, or you can go back and black your lines with a Sharpie, or you can just leave it a pencil drawing, whatever you'd like to do. But we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.